Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. There's a little bit of Fire Emblem Heroes stuff, but I will address the elephant in the room, as it were. There's no face cam here, and the reason for that, twofold. Okay, so I have a backdrop that I'm wanting to debut for the Legendary Micaiah video, just because that's how things came about. I managed to get everything built on Monday and Sunday, so I'd rather that debut be on a bigger video than I'm planning, that being the Legendary Micaiah video, which will come out tomorrow, so be sure to come back for that. Second, I am in desperate need of a haircut, and I did not have time to make pretty if I was going to get this out on time, and I know that there is a small but loyal, dedicated fan base to the Hero Tracker series, so I wanted to make sure that I could do that. It's pretty simple. So, you know, just be aware that my face is here instead, but the information doesn't change. So let's go ahead and kick off some Heroes content, shall we? So this is the Hero Tracker. If you don't know what that is, I keep track of the Legendary and Mythic Heroes and when they're coming back, both remix and limited banners every month, so that you don't have to. And I will have a cumulative graphic that you can find on Twitter or in my Discord, if that is appealing to you, and you can check that out. And we will look at it at the very end as well, so stick around for that. But let's go ahead and get into the actual sections here and take a look. September, the remix hasn't changed, right? Ryoma, Ephraim, Hector, Robin. More than likely, we're gonna see some kind of Ephraim stuff happening for the September remix, so get ready for that. I know we just had Brave Erica. I'm assuming a lot of the people are wondering what they're gonna do to remix Ephraim, as well as Erica. She's coming up too, but mostly Ephraim. So be on the lookout for that. So September also is a Mythic month outside of the remix. That means we're going to be having a new Mythic banner at the end of September, basically October, but they call it September. That one is going to be featuring Altina, Ellawood, Hreed, as well as Crom. Silica, Byleth, I think, is making his first return, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have Claude and Leaf. Red is obviously locked, so there won't be a new red hero there. Probably looking at something green. There's a good chance that that happens. But you could also see something in colorless too, but I doubt it. But it's probably green. They typically tend to introduce new units for that banner whenever the previous returning for the first time hits, and this time it would be Byleth. The same thing actually just happened with Micaiah. Ashera was getting her first rerun, and she was on colorless, so naturally Micaiah is colorless. I could see them doing the same thing. I don't see why they would stop doing that, but eventually that is a pattern that may or may not be overwhelming, so they may change that up at some point, so just be aware. Blue, I don't think it's going to be blue. We have a lot of blue backfill that they need to place in. Let's see, October, going to be a legendary month. That one is going to have Mira and Roy, as well as Uller. We've got Triandra and Hell, and then colorless is full up with a very thematic set, being Duma, Mila, and Alm, which is pretty dope, honestly. I'm still very happy that that happened. I don't know why. I'm irrationally happy anytime that there's like a set of characters from the same game coming on the same banner. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like when Roy and Ellawood shared that one time, like a year ago, I was really happy about it. I don't know why. Next up, moving into the winter months here. So November's remix, we know that Gunthra is there. There is a very high probability, which is why they are half-shadowed, that Marth and Tiki will likely be getting remixed in November as well. So, not confirmed, but likely. You can see on the actual November Mythic panel here in the center that there is still a red and a blue slot open. So that means that Marth and Tiki could very well be in the actual November Mythic banner. There is a probability to that. However, it's more likely that they do end up getting on that remix as first-time entrants. So just be aware. Once we have something in blue or red fill in from one of the upcoming Mythic banners or Legendary banners into the November slot, we will have confirmation. But until then, it's just too soon to tell. If I had to take a guess, I would say the new hero is probably blue that month for November Mythic, moving right along. Sigurd and Plumeria are both in red. Pretty strong color. Except Plumeria has been around a little bit longer. Dimitri and Note are both in blue. That is, yeah, that's pretty scary. Dogger. Hello, Dogger. Dogger's the only one in green. Oops. And then colorless is completely full. So, Corrin and Bramimond, and this will be Micaiah's first rerun. So remember how I was saying that, you know, typically they put the new Mythic or Legendary on the same color wheel as the previous first returning Mythic or Legendary? Yeah, they can't do that here. So, while it does typically happen, it's not always a guarantee. So, again, just reiterating that. That doesn't always happen, but usually it does. In this case, it definitely cannot. So, I would say we're probably looking at a blue for November. December. Happy holidays, y'all. It's crazy that we're already thinking about December, and we're not that far away. It's... where did the year go? So, hey, Lif is here. We've also got Lilina. So the L's in red. Saros is coming back in blue. We have Air down in colorless. And then we have the Great Goat herself coming back in green. So everything's pretty open there for the most part. I don't really know if there's a color I'd give an edge to. Freya and Saros are both kind of like similar in terms of age. I think Saros came out a couple months after Freya. Yeah, there's no real indicator for winner for that. So obviously we'll have some backfill coming in from, you know, September through November into December, hopefully. Mostly probably September. But there will be a little bit of backfill, so we'll have a better indicator of that probably next month. January 2022. Oy, God, depressing. All right, so the January remix is going to be featuring Lynn. We know this. Still waiting for her weapon refine, maybe this month, who knows. But there's, again, half shaded here. Erica and Lucina, both not really sure who's going to be who, but they are, my prediction is they will likely be on the January remix rather than the actual January Mythic banner. And again, just like Marth and Tiki, you can see we have 2 slots open in the actual January banner. So, it's possible that they get skipped over, they don't get a remix yet. IS wants to pace those out a little bit more, fine. But again, once we get more info into... Like, as soon as we know that there's another guaranteed hero to be in the January or the January Mythic blue or red position, we know that Erica and Lucina are likely getting remixed that month. So just be aware of that. Speaking of January Mythic, yeah, we had a couple new additions this time. So this is maybe the one where we had the most fill in. Outside of maybe November. So Sothis and Seliph, the S's, they're back in red. We had Peony and Julia in blue. Fun to see Seliph and Julia together. And then we have Ashera coming back in January. So if you want Ashera, now is probably the time to get it. I haven't really made this comment in this video yet, but colorless is basically busted on the current August Legendary banner. So... If you haven't done that yet, you may want to pull colorless. There's not really a downside, but especially if you want to share. I think Ashera is maybe not worse or better than Micaiah, just slightly different, I guess, is how I would phrase it. But I mean, Fallen Edelgard, you're never going to be upset that you got an extra Fallen Edelgard. Am I right? Speaking of Edelgards, February, we have Edelgard coming back and joining Yoon in green. So that's fun, I guess, for them. Not much else to really talk about there. We'll have a lot more backfill happening, of course. So just be on the lookout the next couple months. March, the remix. Is it happening? Probably. We haven't actually gotten any information on that. But that is when Azura is slated to come back. So I have predicted that she will likely be in the March remix. We don't actually have a March remix scheduled yet, but I'm assuming that they will. They kind of jumped from January to May, and then March has just been blank. So we do know that Azura's coming back. She's the only one who is maybe old enough that we have seen is coming back in March, so that is why I'm assuming she'll be on the remix. We also have the actual March banner, right? So new Mythic hero then. That's going to be featuring Thrasir, who was on the current banner. Yikes. You're ready for that. And then Naga as well, who I think is also on this month's banner. So they are getting bumped way, way out. But I don't think any of them are old enough yet to quite be remixed. But then again, maybe IS doesn't care and they do what they want. Eventually we will have Mythics remixed as well. I think Duma and Air are some of the earliest options for those. So yeah, that's something down the pike. And then May, we know that Ike and Fjorm, they're coming back. They're way out there. I'm gonna have to wait again to get my next Sparkable Ike, just for glory. But that's who we've got so far. And if you think we're missing somebody, we are. Oops. Reagan's coming back. I had a bit of a blunder, a bit of a fog moment in the last hero tracker. Reagan's coming back on the Forging Bonds revival, September. Yes. So technically she's coming back September. We don't know when she's actually showing up on these monthly banners. So which is why I've gone ahead and made her TBD. But we'll update her usually when those come out, and that'll happen with Dagger, or not Dagger, Note. It'll happen with Note. Yeah, Note was Note and More. She was another one of those Reagan and More type banners. Note will likely win the Forging Bonds revival as well. When those happen, when we have mythics or legendaries pop up into those half-point banners or new book banners, they always give some kind of indicator as to when they'll be back, right? So when that drops, I'll go through and update this for next month. But in the meantime, we don't really know when Reagan's coming back outside of the September revival banner, basically. But she'll be back at some point. If I had to take a guess, I'd probably say, sometime in December might be a good option. I'm not sure. Just throw in November, December, maybe. Why not? But hey, that is the hero tracker. If that isn't enough to get your goat, let me tell you something. Boom. There is the full-on chart. And now again, you don't have to screen cap this or anything. You can get the high-res version via my Twitter or Discord. Links will be in the description for that if that is of interest to you. But that is the hero tracker. Some pretty interesting months, I think, coming up. Not really sure how they're stacking colorless so heavy. But everything in between red and colorless seems to be a little bit weak. Interesting. But hey, that's the hero tracker. Let me know what month you're most excited for. And of course, come back tomorrow for the legendary Micaiah summon video. Again, doing that later tonight. It will debut on the 1st at 1 p.m. So that's Eastern, by the way. So you West Coasters get to wake up with it more or less. But hey, that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe. Come back for more. And until then, I will catch you next time.